Hey, good day everyone. So, our topic for today is topic force, two-stroke, and four-stroke cycle diesel engine. So, we have to differentiate and include the advantages and disadvantages of these two types of diesel engine. So, this is a typical picture of a marine diesel engine. So, this is a two-stroke cycle engine. So, So as you can see, it's not very clear, but we will discuss more of it on the next slide. Okay, so our topic will be all about the four-stroke diesel cycle, the two-stroke diesel cycle, the two-stroke crosshead engine, the uniflow and loop scab engine. So we will tackle all of these topics. Uh, okay, so first we will talk about the four-stroke diesel engine. So in the picture, you will see that this is where the blue color is the air. So stroke 1 is induction or intake. So intake of air. So papasok yung hangin dito sa loob ng ating combustion chamber. So dito sa loob ng combustion chamber, meron tayong piston. So as the piston goes down, so so when the piston goes down, ang space dito sa loob ng combustion chamber ay lumalaki. And since lumalaki siya, nagkakaroon siya ng suction force or humihigop siya ng hangin. So, yung blue color yan yung intake of air. So, the crankshaft is rotating. So, habang umikot yung crankshaft natin clockwise, so the piston is moving down the cylinder, bababa yung at the piston. The inlet valve is open. So, bubukas tong inlet valve dito sa loob ng combustion chamber ng cylinder. And then fresh charged air is being drawn or pushed into the cylinder by the turbocharger. So, itong umikot na ito ay tinatawag na turbocharger. So, yung turbocharger ang nagbibigay ng charged air or compressed air. Hindi naman ganun kataas yung compressed air. So, charged air na lang yung itatawag natin. So, charged air, ang turbocharger ang nagbibigay ng charged air papunta doon sa loob ng ating cylinder. Pero hindi papasok yung hangin hanggat hindi bubukas naman itong intake valve. So, habang nakabukas yung intake valve, papasok yung hangin, charge air natin doon sa loob ng combustion chamber. So, yan yung tinatawag natin na induction or para mas simple, kalimutan nyo na yung induction. So, we will use the word intake. So, intake stroke. So, yun yung stroke 1 natin. Intake stroke. So, intake of air into the cylinder. So, pagkababa ng piston, aangat naman yan kasi umiikot yung ating crankshaft. So, habang umiikot yung crankshaft, pagdating niya dito banda, yung ikot ng crankshaft, aangat naman yung piston. Paangat naman siya. Okay, so stroke 2 in which yung may hangin natin, yung hangin na pumasok sa ating cylinder is hindi na siya makalabas kasi nakasarado na yung intake valve dito sa right side, starboard side. So pag angat ng piston, syempre yung hangin na nasa loob ng ating cylinder is mako-compress siya. So kaya tinawag siya na compression stroke. So, una, intake stroke, papasok hangin. Pangalawa, compression stroke. So, i-compress na natin yung hangin. So, the inlet valve is closed and the charge of air is being compressed by the piston as it moves up the cylinder. So, because energy is being transferred into the air, its pressure and temperature increases kasi since kinompress mo na ngayon yung hangin, syempre, pag kinompress mo yung hangin, tataas ang kanyang pressure, tataas din ang kanyang temperature. So, pag tumaas na yung temperature niya, mas madali natin yung sunugin yung fuel or magkakaroon tayo ng combustion mamaya. So, by the time the piston is approaching the top of the cylinder, so known as top dead center or TDC, so pag nasa pinakatuktok na yung piston natin dito banda, nasa pinakatuktok na, yun ang tawag natin doon is top dead center. So the pressure is over 100 bars and the temperature over 500 degrees Celsius. So napakainit na at napakataas na ng pressure. So gano'n ba kataas yung gano'n ba lakas yung pressure na 100 bar? So isipin na lang natin na yung tubig, pag tinulak mo yung tubig, lagay natin 1 bar lang. Itulak mo yung tubig ng 1 bar, aangat siya ng hanggang 10 meters. So approximately 10 meters yung aangat ng tubig na binigyan mo ng pressure sa ilalim niya ng 1 bar. So how much more yung 100 bar, di ba? So ganun nakataas yung tubig kaya may tatapon mo yun, di ba? So ganun taas yung pressure ng isang 1 bar, how much more yung 100 bar? So, 100 bar pressure is very high na masyado. So, kailangan, kaya so mga diesel engine natin is kailangan rigid or matibay yung ating mga components. Kasi ganyan katataas yung pressure na kanyang ginagawa ng compression niya. 100 bars, so hindi pa yon. Yung 100 bars na yun, wala pang fuel yun. Pag nilagyan mo pa yun ng fuel sa stroke number 3 or the power stroke, pag nilagyan mo pa yun ng fuel, syempre nasabog na yun. 100 bar plus may fuel ka na may combustion ka na, so ganun nakataas yung pressure na makikreate niya, di ba? So ganun tataas yung mga pressure na ginagawa ng ating engine para makatakbo yung ating mga barko. So, stroke 3, power stroke. So, stroke 1 is intake stroke. Yung hangin papasok doon sa ating cylinder. And then, pangalawa is the compression stroke. So, i-compress na natin yung hangin na pinasok natin sa ating cylinder. And then, stroke number 3 is injection na mag-inject tayo ng fuel. And then, power stroke ang tawag doon. Kasi magkakaroon na ng power or atomization of fuel. So, yung fuel, i-atomize natin yun. Ibig sabihin na atomize, napakapino yung pag-spray sa kanya. Bakit kailangan atomize? So, mas pino yung spray ng fuel, mas madali siyang sunugin. So, mas maganda yung combustion mo, konti lang yung usok. So, yung iba, wala nang usok dahil sa ganda ng kanyang atomization. So, just before the TDC, fuel is injected into the cylinder by the fuel injector. So, mabasa natin na before top dead center, yung fuel, nag-inject na ng fuel. So, bakit masyadong maaga yung fuel na masyadong maaga yung pagpasok ng fuel natin sa ating combustion chamber. So, angat pa lang yung piston, bago pumalo siya sa top dead center, mag-inject na siya ng fuel. So, una, kailangan ganun kasi yung fuel naman, pag inject mo, hindi naman yan agad na masusunog agad. So, may time delay pa yan bago siya ma-reach niya yung temperature and then yung burning temperature niya magkaroon ng combustion. So, yung time delay na yun, pag angat ng piston to top dead center, may delay pa yun, lalagpas pa yung top dead center bago siya magkaroon ng combustion o masusunog yung fuel na yun. So, pagbaba ng piston, doon na itutulak niya yung piston pababa. Itutulak ng power natin or ng combustion natin. So because they are very small, these droplets heat up very quickly and start to burn as the piston passes over top dead center. So kung hindi masyadong maliliit yung atomization natin or hindi masyadong tiny yung droplets, yung malaki yung droplets, mas matagal masunog and then in the long run, mas mausok siya yung labas dun sa ating chimney, which is a no-no on our MARPOL, di ba? So the expanding gas from the fuel burning in the oxygen forces the piston down the cylinder, turning the crankshaft. So yung fuel, pag nagkaroon na ng combustion, itulak niya yung piston pababa para umikot din yung crankshaft. So sa crankshaft naman nakakonekta yung ating propeller or yung mga generator kung ano man pwede natin i-connecta sa ating engine. So it is during this stroke that work energy is being put into the engine. During the other 3 strokes of the piston, the engine is having to do the work. Okay, so stroke number 3, power stroke. Next stroke is the exhaust. So pagbaba ng piston, itulak ng combustion natin yung piston, bababa siya, aangat naman siya ulit. Kasi yung mundo ay paikot-ikot lang, yung crankshaft ay paikot-ikot lang din. And then yung piston natin is taas-baba lang trabaho niya. Taas-baba, okay? So pag angat ulit ng piston, since wala na tayong combustion, yung natitira na lang dun sa loob is mga usok na lang, mga impurities, unwanted gases. So, kailangan naman yan natin itanggalin sa combustion chamber kasi maglalagay tayo ulit mamaya ng bagong hangin. So, that stroke is the exhaust. So, yung lahat ng mga dumi, mga exhaust, so, ilalabas natin yan, unang-una by opening this exhaust valve. So, pag open itong exhaust valve sa port side or sa left side natin ng ating engine, lalabas dyan yung yellow color, lalabas dyan yung exhaust. And then pupunta siya sa turbocharger para yung pressure naman ng exhaust na yon is yun yung magpapaikot ng ating turbocharger. Okay? So the exhaust valve starts to open as the piston now moves up the cylinder. The hot gases are expelled from the cylinder. So yun yung mga nitrogen, carbon dioxide, may iba pa yung mga water vapor, and unused oxygen, yung mga natitirang mga unwanted gases natin, yun yung i-expel natin from the cylinder para pagbalik natin sa stroke number 1, which is compression, malinis na yung loob ng ating combustion chamber, and then mas maganda yung makikreate natin na combustion mamaya naman. So as the piston approaches top dead center again, the inlet valve starts to open and the cycle repeats itself. So bago maabot niya yung top dead center, bubukas naman yung intake valve. So sa split seconds na yun, nakabukas yung dalawa. Nakabukas yung intake valve, nakabukas yung exhaust valve. So pag pasok ng hangin dito sa intake valve, itutulak nung pressure na yun, yung natitirang unwanted gases mo dito sa combustion chamber. So parang nililinis mo muna yung loob ng mas pinalilinis mo pa pala. So yung hangin na papasok, itutulak pa niya yung natitirang, baka may mga natira pa doon na hindi natin nailabas kanina. So mas malilinis pa natin yung loob ng ating cylinder or combustion chamber. So nakabukas yung dalawa, papasok yung hangin, itutulak niya yung natitirang dumi na exhaust, doon palabas bago magsarado ulit itong exhaust valve. So may split seconds lang yan na parang bukas yung dalawang valve. Okay, so since mas higher pressure yung intake natin kaysa sa exhaust, so yung intake naman, pasok, itutulak na yung natitirang dumi doon sa exhaust side. So that is also known as or also called as the tawag doon. Ay, kalimutan niyo. So may tawag doon na yung intake or yung intake natin is itutulak niya yung dumi sa ating exhaust. So ang tawag natin doon is scavenging. So that is scavenging. When the impurities or the unnecessary or unwanted gases na natitira sa ating combustion chamber ay tinatanggal natin lahat through pushing or dahil tinutulak siya na intake or no charge air. So that is scavenging. So take note na lang, scavenging ang tawag doon. Okay, so in this video, so actually the 4 events, yung intake, compression, power, and exhaust, yung 4 na events na yun, events na tawag doon, the 4 events na yun ay ginagamit sa 2-stroke, ginagamit din sa 4-stroke. Okay? So as you can see in here, so this is a typical, a simple diagram lang. So hindi talaga ganito yung forma sa barko. So this is a simple diagram para lang mas ma-clarify natin or mas simplify natin yung idea. So, as you can see, the blue color is the dito naman tayo sa 4-stroke. Okay, mag-start tayo sa 4-stroke. So, yung blue color is papasok doon sa loob ng, so that is intake, and then aakyat ng piston, magiging violet, that is compression, and then magbibigay tayo ng fuel, then magiging yellow, that is power, and then exhaust, ilalabas naman yung mga unwanted na mga gases. So that is the typical 4-stroke. So dalawang ikot yung nagagawa yung 4 events na intake, compression, power, exhaust. Habang naman 2-stroke, sa isang ikot niya lang, nagagawa niya yan lahat. So makita natin, sa pag-angat niya, nandun yung intake, compression, pag-angat pa lang yun, and then pagbaba ng piston, nandun naman yung power and exhaust. So yung 4 events na intake, compression, power, exhaust ay nagagawa ng 2-stroke sa isang revolution lamang. Habang sa 4-stroke naman, so yung 4 events ay nagagawa niya sa 2 revolution. So that is the comparison lang ng 2-stroke and 4-stroke. Okay? So match the definition of name. So this is an exercise. So I hope you will just do it on your own at home or wherever you are ngayon. So try to do this. Parang self-check lang kung naintindihan nyo yung mga discuss ko kanina. So this is also a much the definition of the name of the stroke. So okay, mas maganda siguro, ganito na lang. Mas maganda na itong match the definition of the name of the stroke is gawin nyo, isulat nyo sa bond paper, and then ipasa nyo sa ating Google Classroom. So you can send a screenshot or picture nung sinulat nyo. So handwritten yun. So sinulat nyo yung, for example, yung induction or intake is blah 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 blah. So the definition, ano yung definition niya? Then isulat nyo sa papel, picturean nyo, or anong gusto nyo, scan nyo, or picture lang sa cellphone, and then isend nyo sa ating Google Classroom. So isend nyo na lang doon yung answer dito sa match the definition. Okay? Two-stroke diesel cycle. So it may surprise you to learn that the biggest diesel engine in use operate on the two-stroke cycle principle. So akala ko ba mas maganda yung four-stroke, mas mabilis yung four-stroke, pero bakit yung malalaking mga engine, yung napakalaking mga engine is two-stroke yung ginamit nila na principle. So if you have experience of two-stroke petrol engine, you will know that it causes more pollution than a four-stroke petrol engine. So yung nandito pala is petrol, but on board, diesel tayo. So this is because oil is mixed with the petrol to lubricate the crankshaft bearings, and a lot of unburned petrol oil air mixture is discharged to the atmosphere. So sa two-stroke diesel engine naman, walang mixing of fuel or oil with the combustion air. So the crankshaft bearings are lubricated from pressurized oil in the same way as a four-stroke engine. The two-stroke cycle is so called because it takes two strokes of the piston to complete the process needed to convert the energy in the fuel to work. So ano yung process na yun? Yung 4 events. So yung isang revolution, 4 events, isang revolution lang yung ikot ng sa two-stroke cycle. So because the engine is reciprocating, this means that the piston must move up and down. So angat baba lang yung piston, the cylinder, and therefore the crankshaft must revolve once. So ikot naman yung crankshaft. So nakita natin ito kanina. So I will, you can screenshot na lang, you can download this video. So this was already discussed. So just dito tayo sa stroke number 2 or the compression stroke. So just before top dead center, fuel is injected into the cylinder by the fuel injector. So the fuel, ano ba to? Third stroke na to. So this is the power stroke. So because they are very small, these droplets heat up very quickly and start to burn as the piston passes over top dead center. So the expanding gas from the fuel burning and the oxygen forces the piston down. So alam niyo na to. So this is discussed already. So number 3, as the piston moves down the cylinder, the useful energy from the burning fuel is expended. So yung burning fuel natin, yung energy na ginamit niya pagtulak sa piston bababa is nawawala din yung katagalan. Kaya kailangan na natin, so at about 110 degrees after top dead center, the exhaust valve opens and the hot exhaust gas begin to leave the cylinder. So exhaust stroke na siya. So at about 140 degrees after top dead center, the piston uncovers a set of ports known as scavenge ports. So makita natin dito sa two-stroke, wala siyang yung kanina na meron siyang intake valve at exhaust valve sa itaas. So yung nandito lang sa ating two-stroke is nasa baba yung kanyang intake port. So may mga butas yan. Diyan papasok yung hangin. And then sa taas naman yung exhaust niya. Okay? So isang ikot lang naman to. Sa isang ikot niya, nagagawa niya yung 4 events. So yung intake sa baba, papasok yung hangin. And then pag angat ng piston, masasarado niya yung port. So, yun yung start of compression. So, pag angat pa ng piston, angat pa siya dito, magko-compress na yung hangin. And then after that, mag-inject itong dalawang green na color na injector. So, in this diagram, meron tayong dalawang fuel injector. So, yung dalawang fuel injector na yan, pwedeng depende yan sa barko, kung electronic yung control dyan. May iba na pwede mong isa lang injector yung gamitin mo, pwede dalawa yung injector gamitin mo, pwede tatlong injector sabay yung gamitin mo, or pwede mo yung, depende kung kailan mo i-adjust. Yun yung sa ibang mga barko na automatic na. So, The pressurized air enters the cylinder via these ports and pushes the remaining exhaust gas from the cylinder in a process known as scavenging. So makita natin dito nakabukas yung ating exhaust valve, and then nakabukas din yung ating intake port. So papasok yung hangin dyan sa butas, aangat dun sa baba, sa taas, and then yung natitirang mga dumi na nandito sa loob ng cylinder or ng combustion chamber is itutulak niya pataas dun sa exhaust valve kasi bukas din yan. So sabay nagbukas yung intake port at yung exhaust valve. And then, may time yan, ilang seconds lang, and then, agad na sasarado na yon. So, pag sarado na ng exhaust valve na ito sa taas, so, mag-start na tayo ng compression. Okay, the piston now go. So, ang tawag pala doon, scavenging. So, this is, ito yung tinawag kanina. Sinabi ko kanina, scavenging. So, the piston now goes past bottom dead center and starts moving up the cylinder, closing off the scavenge ports. The exhaust valve then closes and compression begins. So, makikita naman natin dito sa two-stroke. So, aangat lang itong piston. Bukas pa yung port na yan. Pag umakyat na dito yung piston, masasarado na yung ports. So, matatakpan na ng body ng piston. And then, mula dito hanggang dito sa taas, that is the start of compression na. So, after ng compression, power, and then exhaust na. So, speaking and writing skills. So, describe the two-stroke cycle using the diagram and data below. So, minsan, dito natin makikita kung this is a simple diagram of a two-stroke. Timing diagram ang tawag natin dito. So, ito yung timing kung ilang degrees magbubukas yung number 1. Compression. So, itong 1 to 2 is, this is the compression time. So, before mag-top dead center, yung nasa gitna, yan yung top dead center. So, before dumating ng top dead center, magkakaroon na ng fuel injection. So, from 2 to 3, that is fuel injection. So, lagpas na ng top dead center yung injection niya. And then, yung power niya is after na nung 3. So, this is the power stroke, 3 to 4. So, sa 4 to 5 naman is exhaust blowdown. So, bubukas na yung ating exhaust valve, lalabas na yung mga natitirang mga dumi. So, sa 2-stroke to. So, sa isang ikot ng 2-stroke, nagagawa natin yung 4 na event. So, una, compression, injection, hindi ka sinama na lang dito yung fuel injection, and then power, exhaust, and then yung 5 to 6 is bukas yung ating dalawang port or dalawang valve or yung intake port and then yung exhaust valve. So, sa 5 to 6, yan yung tinatawag natin na scavenging or bukas yung ating hangin at yung exhaust. So, papasok yung hangin or yung charged air, papasok, and then itulak nyo yung titirang exhaust dun sa ating palabas ng ating combustion chamber. And then after 6 to 1 is the post-scavenging or yung mga natira pang mga dumi, lalabas pa dyan. So this is approximately 110 degrees. So may mga degrees tayo dito. So 140 degrees after, before top dead center. So makikita natin dito. So BTDC. So approximately 110 degrees before top dead center. So 110 degrees. So mga nandito. 110 degrees before top dead center. So, fuel injection is 10 degrees before top dead center. So, bago mag-top dead center, na 10 degrees pa lang, nag-inject na siya ng fuel. And then, after nyan, 12 degrees after top dead center, magkakaroon na tayo ng power. So, magkakaroon na itulak na ng power stroke natin yung piston baba. And then, 4 to 5, that is 110 degrees after top dead center. So, exhaust blowdown na, lalabas na yung exhaust. Wala pa yung hangin, hindi pa papasok yung hangin. And then after that, 5 to 6, approximately 140 degrees after top dead center. So dito, 140 degrees after top dead center, bubukas na yung intake natin. So while nakabukas rin yung exhaust natin. So yan ang tinatawag na scavenging. And then post-scavenging after, approximately 140 degrees before top dead center. So nandito na siya. So that's the simple diagram of a two-stroke. So sa isang ikot lang, nagagawa natin yung 4 events. So, ano yung 4 events? Intake, compression, power, and exhaust. So, ganun lang kasimple. Okay, this is a typical video or a GIF of a two-stroke engine. So, sa isang ikot lang, nagkaroon na ng 4 events. Okay? So, exhaust dito, intake dito. So, yan. And then, yung nasa gitna naman na gear is that is the crankshaft. Yung iba pa, meron yung iba dito na kinoconnect pa na gears. Yung iba dito is for the fuel line. So, para pag-ikot ng engine or ng crankshaft, ikot din yung fuel. Magbibigay din siya ng signal doon kung kailan siya mag-inject ng fuel. And then, yung iba sa cooling water naman dito sa kabila is the cooling water. So, habang tumatakbo yung makina, umikot din yung pump for the cooling ng engine natin kasi bawal din yung engine mag-overheat, masisira yan. Okay? So, makita natin dito, meron tayong power, so induction or intake, compression, power, and exhaust. So, that is the work cycle. So, scavenging is the removal of all burnt gases from the cylinder and replenishment with fresh charge is necessary to maintain the power and efficiency of the engine. The rapid operation of two-strokes causes a flow of fresh air buffering against exhaust gas to eject them, improving the flow by careful design and a blower which improves the scavenging efficiency. So, meron pa tayo itong mga terms. So, these are the terms, air blowers and after coolers. So, small engines are naturally aspirated. So, yung mga lumang mga makina dati is wala siyang turbocharger, naturally aspirated lang. So, pag bababa ng piston, higop siya ng hangin. So, pag hindi naman gumalaw yung piston, ay wala ding hangin na mahihigop. So, natural aspirated lang. However, more complex engines use additional blowers to force air into the cylinders and so increase their power and efficiency. So blowers may be the supercharger or turbocharger type. So meron tayong supercharger na tawag, meron tayong turbocharger na tawag. So what is a supercharger? Superchargers are driven directly by the engine and geared spin at up to twice the engine speed. A stream of air from a supercharger can also partially cool the hot running two-stroke. So habang umikot yung engine, meron siyang nakakouple na supercharger, naikot din yon. So, yun yung magbibigay ng additional na hangin doon sa ating engine. And then, meron din tayong tinatawag na turbocharger or yung waste heat yung ginagamit niya. So, yung mga natitirang mga pressure at heat sa exhaust, yun yung nagpapaikot sa kanya sa turbocharger. And then, sa kabilang side ng turbocharger is, since umikot na yung turbocharger, sa kabilang side naman is humihigop yung turbocharger naman. So, meron siyang dalawang side, the turbine side and the pressure side. So, sa turbine side, doon nadaan yung exhaust para mapaikutin yung turbocharger. And then, since coupled lang sila, konektado lang sila into one shaft, so ikot din yung kabila, which is the compressor side. So, doon naman hihigop ng hangin. And then, ibibigay niya doon sa ating combustion chamber or sa ating cylinder. So, turbochargers are driven by a turbine which is powered by the engine exhaust and may spin at up to 100,000 RPM. So usually yung sakyan ko is around 30,000 RPM lang yung ikot ng aming turbocharger. So balance and lubrication is critical. At high-speed turbo vanes reach high temperatures from the exhaust blast a flame. If the engine is instantly shut down from high-speed operation, the rapidly spinning turbo will run on for a substantial time after the engine-driven lubricating system has stopped. The heat from the turbo vanes will conduct into the bearings with consequent damage. To prevent these problems, hot engines should be allowed to idle for about 5 to 15 minutes before they are switched off to allow the engine and turbo to cool down. So, yung engine pala is to protect naman yung turbocharger since yung turbocharger is mainit yung dumadaan sa kanya, yung exhaust natin. So, kailangan din siya ng proper cool down bago patayin. So, yung engine, before patayin mo, kailangan 15 to 20 minutes. Yung dito nakalagay is 5 to 15 minutes. So, depende yan sa barko nyo. Kung ano yung nakalagay dun sa bell book or nakalagay din sa barko ninyo. Kung ano yung steps nyo before stopping the engine. So, dito nakalagay is 15 minutes before patayin yung engine. So, patakbuhin mo lang, walang load. So, magaan lang yung makina, pero tumatakbo lang siya, nagpapalamig lang. Okay? So, parang kayo, yung bago kayo, after kayo mag-basketball, so, magpalamig muna kayo, huwag muna kayong diretso maligo. So, that's it. So, turbochargers also heat the induced air by compression, and after cooler may be fitted to cool and increase the density of the air before it enters the engine, so increasing efficiency and cool running. So yung turbocharger naman natin, sa cooler, sa compressor side is, since nagko-compress siya ng hangin doon, hindi naman ganoon kataas yung compression pressure, pero at least nakakapag-charge siya ng air. Charge air yung tawag doon. So kung medyo compress siya, so uminit din yung hangin na yun. So hindi naman maganda na mainit agad yung ipasa mo doon sa combustion chamber kasi konti lang yung may lalagay doon. So, yung ginawa ng mga manufacturer is, dadaan mo siya ng aftercooler or charge air cooler yung tawag. So, dadaan mo siya ng charge air cooler, papalamigin mo muna kasi mas malamig yung hangin, mas compress siya. So, mas buo siya. Mas marami yung volume na pwede mo ipasok doon sa loob ng combustion chamber o ng cylinder natin. So, mas marami ka may papasok na hangin sa ating cylinder head or sa cylinder natin, mas marami yung pwede mo i-compress mas marami pwede i-compress ng piston. So, mas maganda yung pressure. So, when yung 100 bars, pwede mo pa yung pataasin or marireach mo yung 100 bar na pressure pag mas malamig na hangin yung papasok mo sa loob. Kaya may aftercooler. So, yung aftercooler naman is meron siyang preset value na hindi din siya pwedeng bumaba sa ilagay natin, hindi siya pwedeng bumaba ng 40 degrees or 30 degrees. Kasi pag bumaba naman ng 30 degrees, yung ipapasok mo na hangin doon sa loob ng ating combustion chamber, so magkakaroon naman ng mga moisture. So yung moisture na yun, pwede siyang magkaroon ng corrosion doon sa loob or yung makokorrode yung mga components sa loob. So, and then, yung oil natin or yung lubrication natin sa loob ng piston is mabobroken. So, masira yung masira naman yung piston pag nawalan ito ng oil. That's dahil mamimix yung moisture doon sa loob, malalagyan ng tubig yung lubrication natin sa piston. Kailangan nakalubricate yan lagi para smooth yung movement ng ating piston. Diba? So, alam nyo, importante yung lubrication dyan. So, on diesel engines, timing methods vary widely in different engine designs. So, kung nakita na kanino yung timing design ng two-stroke, hindi sa lahat ng barko is ganun yung timing na ginagamit. So, that is just an example. Diba? Yung timing, yung circle kanina. So, this one. So, this timing diagram. So, this is just an example. Different manufacturers, different timing diagram. Okay? Okay ba? So, but very widely different engine design, but all must be set exactly as even. A small timing error can stop the engine or seriously damage it. So, injection and the opening and closing of the valve is accurately timed in relation to the position of the piston. So, di naman pwede na nag-inject ka and then bubukas naman yung exhaust valve. So, yung injection, bukas yung exhaust valve, walang mangyayaring combustion, di ba? So, lalabas naman yung hangin. So, di pwede yun. Kailangan na-timing lahat. So, the mesh teeth of the gears ensure that injection and valve operations occur at the correct point of each work cycle. At speed, engines' work cycles occur so rapidly that valve and injection has to be initiated prematurely to counter the minuscule delay in actuating mechanism. So, may mga losses tayo. So, meron tayong mga adjustments dyan. May mga clearance tayo. So, four-stroke engines have twice as many teeth on the camshaft gear or sprocket as there on the crankshaft gear. This means that the camshaft runs at half the speed of the crankshaft. So, sa isang ikot ng crankshaft, dalawang ikot naman yung camshaft natin. Ay, hindi pala. Sa isang ikot ng camshaft, is kalahating ikot lang sa crankshaft. Diba? Half the speed of the crankshaft. So, isang ikot ng, diba, sa isang ikot ng crankshaft natin, meron tayong dalawang stroke, dalawang revolution. So, half lang yung camshaft natin. With two-stroke engines, injection occurs at the valves will open and close on each turn of the crankshaft. In two-stroke engines, the crankshaft must run at the same speed as the crankshaft. Since sa two-stroke naman is isang revolution is 4 events na, so isang ikot ng crankshaft is isang ikot din ng camshaft. So, dito tulad sa 4-stroke na dalawang ikot ng crankshaft, isang ikot ng camshaft. So, yung camshaft naman, nandun na connecta yung intake valve sa camshaft na connecta. So, yung camshaft yung tumutulak doon sa piston, sa intake valve na magbubukas, sa exhaust valve na magbubukas, sa fuel injector na mag-inject ng fuel, siya yung nagpo-control dyan. So, So the specific opening and closing of the inlet and exhaust valves and the period of injection of the fuel can be taken from the engine manufacturer's timing diagram. So, sa barko, meron tayong mga manual. So, you should always check the manual before doing something, di ba? Kailangan, di tulad sa school. So, sa school, bawal mag-open notes. Especially pag exam. Pero sa barko, no worries, may mga manual sa'yo doon. Palaging gamitin mo yon. So, basahin mo, and then i-familiarize mo. So, kada sampang ng barko, iba yung manual, iba din yung aaralin mo. So, this is a typical sample natin dito is a Caterpillar turbocharged after cooled engine. So, 4-stroke cycle diesel engine. So, iba naman yung kanyang timing diagram. So, this is an example. So, una, dito tayo muna magsisimula sa loob na circle. So, since ang 4-stroke is iikot siya ng dalawang beses bago niya magawa yung 4 events, so meron tayong dalawang ikot dito. So, start sa intake or induction or intake stroke tayo. So, 10 degrees before top dead center, dito. Okay. So, 10 degrees, oops, wait. Okay. Dito, mula dito, 10 degrees before top dead center up to 1 degrees before bottom dead center. So, yan yung intake niya. And then, aangat yung piston, compression naman. Pag compress niya dito up to 10 degrees, yan dyan, compression, hanggang dito sa 3 degrees top dead center. Magsasarado na yung, dito na, magpa-power na agad. So, intake, compression, power. Pag power niya, so 26 degrees before bottom dead center. So, yung nasa ilalim is bottom dead center. This is the bottom dead center. So, 26 degrees before bottom dead center, magbubukas na yung exhaust valve para sa exhaust stroke. So, lalabas na yung unwanted gas natin, exhaust. And then, after that, bubukas naman yung ating intake valve. Bubukas. So, nakabukas yung exhaust valve and intake valve ng mga, ilan to? 13 degrees. So, sabay silang bukas. So, that is the scavenging. Okay, so this is a typical 4-stroke. So, example lang to. Okay, so makikita natin meron ng dalawang ikot. Okay, the heat in the compressed air ignites the fuel and combustion takes place. The gas is expanding, forcing the piston down on the power stroke. So, yan lahat, yung degrees na yan, is makikita natin doon sa in this diagram, timing diagram. So, this is the explanation ng timing diagram na yun. So, sabi ko na ito kanina. So, you can just basahin nyo lang ulit. Baka meron kayong hindi maintindihan. Okay? So, the 2-stroke cycle diesel engine. 2 strokes of power followed by compression are required to complete 1 cycle. So, isang cycle lang, 4 events, dalawang stroke ng piston. Yun yung 2-stroke. So, yan, I hope clear na yan sa inyo. So, this is a typical 2-stroke timing. So, mayroon tayong, mayroon akong kanina pinakita sa inyo, mayroon din itong bago, iba naman to. So, this is a Detroit engine, Detroit diesel turbocharged engine. So, ito naman yung timing diagram niya. So, isang ikot lang naman sa 2-stroke, makakompleto mo yung 4 na event. So, isang ikot lang to. So, una, intake. So, intake, dito magsisimula, intake. Papasok na yung hangin. Pagdating niya dito, magsasarado na yung inlet ports. Sarado na. So, start of compression na yan. Compression. After compression, ilang degrees dito, mag-inject ng fuel, then power stroke. And then after ng power stroke, mag-exhaust. Magpapalabas yan ng mga dumi. So, exhaust. So, yung bukas na exhaust is mula dito hanggang dito, exhaust yan. And then, mula dito hanggang dito is bukas din yung intake niyan. So, that is bukas yung intake valve and exhaust valve niyan sa 2-stroke. So, ito yung tinatawag na scavenging. So, dyan, scavenging. Masyadong mahaba yung scavenging niya. Diba? So, late na magsasarado yung exhaust valve. So, para mas malinis talaga yung engine. Kaso lang, mas marami din nasasayang na hangin or na charge air, diba? So, yun yung kanina. So, ito yun na yung diagram. So, ito yung explanation. So, at least may idea na kayo and then you can basahin nyo lang ito ulit for clarifications lang. Okay? So, this is questions. So, discuss the terms highlighted in the text below. So, i-search nyo yung mga words na to, trunk piston engine, side thrust. So, para maintindihan nyo. So, hindi ko na muna ito i-assignment. So, discuss the question below. What are the disadvantages? What are two-stroke engines generally applied? So, here's some of the answer. So, since two-stroke, although it has a low overall height, lubricating oil splash up. So, this is a four-stroke pala. And where are two-stroke engines generally applied? So, this is the answer. The design of two-stroke is generally only used for the smaller, lower-powered two-stroke engines up to about 5,000 kilowatts for a V16 engine with a 280mm bore and 320mm stroke. Actually, sa ngayon may malaking mga engine two-stroke na rin yung gamit. Okay, two-stroke crosshead engine. So, saan ba yung crosshead dito? So, ito naman is more on the components naman tayo. So, anong difference ng two-stroke at four-stroke? So, kung makikita natin dito sa two-stroke, meron siyang piston. Di ba? Ito yung piston. And then, meron siyang piston rod. So, this is the piston rod. Then, meron siyang crosshead. So, bago siya na-connecta sa kanyang connecting rod, and then ito na yung crankshaft. So, dalawa pa yung nakakonekta sa piston. Mula piston, papunta sa crankshaft, dalawang tawag dito. Dalawang component, kahit tatlo yan. So, dalawang rod yung nakakonekta sa piston. So, ito yung connecting rod, and then, ito yung piston rod, and then connecting rod. So, makikita na dito, meron tayong piston rod. Ito, piston rod. Meron tayong crosshead, yung nakakonekta sa crosshead at piston rod at itong connecting rod dito bago itong crankshaft. So, yung crosshead na yan is dyan lang siya dumadaan sa crosshead guides. So, hindi yan maggagalaw to the left or to the right. So, akyat baba lang. So, para ma-lessen natin yung vibration dito sa piston, kasi pag masyadong yung forces ng piston is papunta sa left or sa right, mas mabilis din magkakaroon ng leaking or yung wearing, mag-wear agad yung mga components natin dito sa taas. So, ito yung nag-absorb ng side force, itong crosshead. So, makikita natin, mas mahaba din yung combustion chamber ng two-stroke engine. So, sa two-stroke engine, meron din tinatawag na stuffing box. So, yung mga dumi dito sa taas, hindi papasok dito sa loob ng crankshaft. Kasi dito sa crankshaft, meron tayong mga langis dyan. So, bawal na magkadumi yung langis natin. So, meron tayong stuffing box. Yan yung nagpe-prevent na pumasok yung mga dumi. And then, yung mga leakage na hangin, leaking hangin. Diba? Pressurized dito. So, yung hangin na yun, pag pumasok dito sa loob ng crankshaft or crankcase, sa loob ng crankcase, and then since yung crankcase natin medyo mainit din, and then may mga langis-langis, so baka magkaroon ng explosion. So yung stuffing box ang nagpe-prevent na. Okay? Okay, we'll give you this slides na rin. So there's questions here. So yung mga tanong na nandito is possible na pwede na lumabas yan sa ating exams. So pag-aralan nyo lang. Okay? Okay. Activity number 2 natin, idagdag nyo rin ito sa activity number 2. What is the most powerful, itong mga tanong na to. So, answer this. What is the most powerful type of diesel engine in the world? What is their cylinder bore and stroke? What is the maximum weight of the crankshaft and the entire engine? So, research nyo lang sa internet kung ano yung pinaka-highest or most powerful type of diesel engine na nakita nyo doon, yun yung isulat nyo doon sa ating activity number 2. So, using the crosshead, okay. So, jumbled text, may mga lalabas din na ganito sa ating exam. So, differentiate natin yung 4-stroke engine and 2-stroke engine. So, 4-stroke engine is heavier. Heavyweight kasi mas marami siyang components o mechanisms. So, meron siyang mga tagdadalawang, di ba, sa 4-stroke is dalawa nasa taas, may intake valve, may exhaust valve. Whereas sa 2-stroke naman, isa lang yung nasa taas, yung exhaust valve lang. Yung intake naman niya is nasa ilalim, nasa intake port. So, butas lang yun, walang gumagalaw doon. So, hindi masyadong mabigat. Walang masyadong mga mechanism, complicated mechanisms, and mga gears na nakakonekta doon. Okay, next. Due to positive scavenging and greater time of induction, its thermal efficiency and volumetric efficiency are higher. So, mas maganda yung thermal efficiency and volumetric efficiency ng ating 4-stroke kasi dalawang ikot na utilize mo yung hangin, yung charge air na utilize mo, yung init ng compression na utilize mo. Whereas sa 2-stroke, mabilis lang. Diba sa isang ikot, nagagawa mo na yung compression, exhaust, intake, compression, power, exhaust. So, sa isang ikot, mas marami yung mga losses na nagagawa mo. Okay? 4-stroke engine. High efficiency is important on power generation airplanes. So, ginagamit yung 4-stroke for higher efficiency. So, yung 2-stroke naman is ginagamit for low cost, low weight, and compactness. So, 2-stroke ang gamit. Makikita naman natin 2-stroke yung gamit ng mga motor, di ba? Kasi mas magaan yung 2-stroke kaysa sa 4-stroke. And then, 4-stroke engine, normally water-cooled. The wear and tear is therefore less. It consumes less amount of lubricant. The lubricant is placed in the crankcase. It is not mixed with the fuel. Whereas the 2-stroke engine, air-cooled siya, wear and tear is therefore more. It requires more amount of lubrication. Usually, mobile oil is mixed with the fuel sa 2-stroke. Pero, yung sa 2-stroke is doon in-inject yung extra oil doon sa may piston niya. So, nag-inject din ng oil doon sa piston, kaya mas maraming oil yung nandun sa nagamit sa 2-stroke. Whereas sa 4-stroke, kung ano yung oil na ginagamit niya or lubrication na ginagamit niya sa kanyang mga gears, mga moving parts, yun din yung ginagamit sa kanyang piston. So, isahan lang yung lubrication na gamit niya. Okay? So, marami pang mga advantages and disadvantages itong dalawang engine ito. So, okay, sa scavenging naman, so we will discuss this on a separate, okay, we will discuss the unit flow, itong ganito, the cross scavenging, loop scavenging, unit flow scavenging. So, ito ginagamit lang sa 2-stroke, hindi naman ito ginagamit sa 4-stroke. So, ito i-discuss lang natin on a separate video, on a separate topic, okay? Topic 8 ata yun, or topic 7 ba yun? So, we will discuss it. Okay, so that's it. So, comparison of SI or spark ignition and CI or compressed compression ignition engine. So, this is, so hindi kasama to kasi this was discussed on the previous topic natin or previous video. So, yung gasoline at yung diesel engine, ito yun. So, we will not discuss this on this video, okay? So, thank you very much for your time. Take note sa mga activities natin. Yung activity number 2 is, nandito naman sa slides. So, I hope you will, kahit screenshot nyo lang, and then answer it. Then, send me the answers on a paper, and then picturean nyo lang, and then send nyo lang sa Google Classroom. So, thank you very much for your time. So, I hope you learned something, and then if you have more questions, if you are very excited to know more, so please do ask or post your questions or message your questions on our group chat para hindi lang kayo yung natututo, lahat tayo natututo. So thank you very much for your time. God bless and more power to everyone.